Welcome back to Good Day Maine. The federal government has awarded Maine several grants over the past 2 months to boost energy production. The grants make important investments in green technology, but the total bill is starting to add up to a large sum of money.
Jeremy Portnoy, an investigative journalist from OpenTheBooks.com, now joins us live. And let's start with the largest of the recent climate grants, which is going to the manufacturing company Form Energy. Can you tell us more about that, Jeremy?
Yeah, so last month, Form Energy got a $147 million grant from the Department of Energy. They're going to build what they're calling the world's biggest battery in Lincoln. So this is a battery that can store excess energy from wind and solar power. And when they say world's biggest, they're really not kidding. It can store enough to power 9,000 homes for an hour. There's no battery plant in the world that can do that. And there's no lithium in the battery is the other good thing. It's just iron and water. So it can't catch on fire. That's happened 6 times the past couple of years in Maine, but this time we should be good.
And Maine also got money for energy-efficient heat pumps. Tell us more about that and how much that was.
Yeah, that's from the Environmental Protection Agency. There's $72 million going to Maine out of $450 million for New England. So that's going to put heat pumps in low-income homes, which can push heat from inside to outside or vice versa, so it can heat and cool your home without burning any oil. It's a lot better for the environment. Maine is leading the whole country. The New York Times says Maine is putting those in homes at the fastest rate out of anywhere. And their goal now is by 2040, they want 90% of all the heat pumps, of all heating units sold in the state to be these heat pumps.
Well, just a few days later, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, awarded almost $600 million for climate-related projects around the country. What's that going to be used for?
Well, this one's a little more vague. It's $69 million for a climate resiliency grant. That's part of $575 million all around the country. So when they say climate resilience, that means just protecting people and property from severe weather or any other effects of climate change that we could see in the next few years. So that's up to Governor Mills to spend. She said she's thinking about creating a new state agency to help other agencies deal with climate change. She wants to support local construction projects, but nothing is set in stone yet. So we'll see going forward how that's spent.
So kind of putting this all together, how do these grants fit into Maine's overall spending from this year?
Well, if you add up just those 3 grants that we just talked about, that's $288 million for Maine out of almost $1 billion for New England. So if you do the math, that's 1/3 of the total New England money going to Maine, and then the other 2/3 is split among the other 5 states. And we've seen that trend a lot this year. Maine got $600 million in federal earmarks. That was the 5th most out of any state in the country. They got funding for 8 clean construction projects from the Inflation Reduction Act. That was the 3rd most in the whole country. So, I mean, this is money going towards important initiatives, but it is a lot going to Maine, and you got to remember that every dollar goes against our national debt.
All right, interesting findings. Again, Jeremy Portnoy with OpenTheBooks.com. Thanks for your help.
Of course.